Well, today is the beginning of the Christmas season called Advent. And this word Advent has various meanings. Literally, it means the arrival of a notable person. We all right? Okay. Of a notable person, thing, or event. Now, many Christian churches, Advent is a season or a time of expectant waiting, but also of preparation. It is a time to celebrate the birth of Jesus, and yes, Jesus was a very real person. But this word Advent, it's really a version of a Latin word, adventus, meaning coming, arrival, dawn, emergence, birth. Now in Unity, we do celebrate the birth of Jesus, and we revere Jesus as an elder brother, way shower, teacher, mentor. He was the one who understood our oneness with God, and he lived, taught, and preached about this very intimate, non-dualistic relationship with the divine. And that teaching was very radical, very unique, and empowering. In fact, Jesus said, "I have come that they might have life and that they might have it abundantly." That was his mission. What a wonderful mission to have. Well, this Advent, we will remember the Christmas story, but we will also take time to discover our truth. And we will do that discovering through 4 Advent words, or divine powers: faith, peace, love, and joy. So perhaps this Advent season, some questions for you might be, what is the meaning of the Christmas story for me today? How do I use these powers of faith, peace, love, and joy in my life today? And how can these spiritual powers assist me in being, in creating faith, peace, love, and joy on earth today? Now, the Advent season lasts for 4 weeks. This year it ends on Sunday, December 22nd. On that Sunday, when we celebrate the power of joy, we will also light a personal candle as we celebrate the birth of Jesus and also the rebirth in each one of us of a deeper realization of our Christ light within. This Advent time of preparation will hopefully give you time to intentionally use these powers in a way that will help you shine your Christ light in the world and also in your life. Now, today we begin with faith. And while playing a game on my cell phone, a commercial came up that said, "Give the gift of faith this Christmas." And I wondered, is that even possible? I mean, this was a gift of jewelry, and I don't even know if it's even possible with jewelry to give the gift of faith. Faith is one of our divine powers, and it's already there. It's already in you. It's in your soul. It's in your DNA. It's in your very beingness. Now, we might not always use the spiritual power of faith as it is intended. Sometimes we place our faith in politicians, in elections, in spouses, in friends, in jobs, employers, or in Social Security. We place it in all different kinds of stuff. Now, when we place our faith out here in all that stuff, We tend to forget that on this physical realm, everything is changing, everything is temporary. However, the faith that is within you, that spiritual power of faith, is never changing. It is always there for you. So the spiritual power called faith, it resides within you. And yet so many of us have a difficult time locating it or hanging on to it. So much that we think we don't even have faith. So while no one can give you the gift of faith, many can inspire you to go within with the hope that it will be there. And while hope is not faith, hope can be the doorway to faith. And so today we have someone who is going to share her thoughts on faith. And like me, perhaps you will be inspired. So I'd like to invite Alma Hamlin to come on up.
Hebrews 11:1 reads that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The sights and sounds of Christmas is buzzing in the air. Soon and very soon, everywhere will be transformed into a fairyland of lights. Recently, walking through my neighborhood, I was reminded of the incredible story of Mary and Joseph. They had to travel to their hometown in Bethlehem for a census, a journey that would take them about 3 weeks. What a predicament! For Mary was pregnant and close to her delivery date. Nevertheless, they set out on that arduous journey. Wow, indeed, that was a big leap of faith. Well, as fate would have it, they made it by the skin of their teeth. But unfortunately, their late arrival didn't help the situation. They found no accommodation because the whole town was filled with travelers from far and near, all there for the same reason of the census being taken at that time. As a very last resort, Joseph accepted an offer of a stable available for his use. Mary was full term and ready to give birth. And since no one else offered the weary and soon-to-be parents any help at all, Joseph settled for the stable. As the saying goes, in the nick of time, and yes, that was a nick of time because Mary gave birth to her firstborn son and wrapped him in strips of cloth and laid him on a makeshift bed of hay in the stable. Their faith and trust to carry out that assignment handed down to them was very, very much like the parable of the mustard seed. That evidence of birth amidst all the unforeseen hardships along the way really, really brought unspeakable joy and full of glory. Happiness and wonder, what happiness and wonder a birth awakens in us. It moves us to ponder the mystery of life with all its invisible realities that our senses cannot comprehend. Thus, along our journey here in this life, we too should continue to walk by faith. Why? Because there's always a bigger picture behind the scenes.
Thank you, Alma. There is a bigger picture behind the scenes. And yes, for many of us, there is so much going on out here to be aware of, to worry about, to fret about, to focus on that we forget. Many others have walked difficult paths just like Jesus' parents. And yet they too insisted on walking by faith, not sight. Throughout the biblical Christmas story, which I view as a parable, we are told that angels kept appearing to various people. People like Mary and Joseph, Mary's cousin Elizabeth, and her husband Zachariah, and of course the shepherds. The angel is the word of faith. Faith to be guided. Faith visited all these people, sometimes even in their sleep. They believed and decided that they could walk in faith. Walking in faith and not by sight. And doing so, they overcame incredible hardships and impossible situations. And I'm sure many of you have beautiful stories of overcoming through faith. And yet, what do we do with indecision and doubt? Does that mean we don't have faith? Or maybe we just don't recognize faith when it knocks on the door of our heart and soul? Well, at this time, I would like to invite 3 other writers and voices members. And we have Francis, who's going to come up here. And we also have Deborah and Liston, who are going to be participating. And it'll just take us a moment to set up.
Indecisive. Indecisive. Wake up. Wake up. You've been sleeping too long. Way too long.
Did I hear someone calling my name?
Yeah, it was me. Now, get up from that chair. Get up. Get moving.
I must still be sleeping because I could have sworn I heard someone call my name.
Yeah, I did. Hey, you've been sleeping way too long. It's time for you to get up, get moving, and forge ahead.
Now, who are you? And how did you get in here?
Never mind that. We'll talk about that later. But in the meantime, get up, get a move on. Too much time has been wasted.
Now, wait a minute. I don't know who you are and how you got in here. You got some explaining to do, or I'm calling the cops.
All right, all right. I'll take a few minutes to explain myself, but we've got to get a move on.
Oh, you did not get the privilege to tell me to get moving, but we really got to. You don't have this privilege when
Thank you so much. That was really great.
You know, our thoughts of doubt and indecision are actually valuable aspects of our character. And I think they are also valuable to a deeper knowing of our faith. The author, Lord Alfred Tennyson, wrote, "There lives more faith in honest doubt than in half the creeds." So why wouldn't we have doubt? Especially when we have wrongly thought of God as some type of Santa Claus. We pray to God, and then God, if he feels like it, will answer our prayers. Well, in Unity, we don't pray to God, but rather from an awareness that we are one with God, just like Jesus understood. We pray affirming for ourselves divine powers because we are one with God, just like Jesus understood. For us in Unity, God is not a person, but a power of source that we can draw on, just like Jesus did. To walk by faith and not by sight can be difficult, and it would make sense that all of us could be so shaken by the temporariness of this physical realm and then lapse into doubt and indecision. Writer Alistair McGrath said that doubt is natural within faith. Doubt arises within the context of faith. It is a wistful longing to be sure of the things in which we place our faith. But it is not and need not be a problem. To doubt your spiritual power of faith makes sense, since we can only compare it to our human usage of placing faith in other people who occasionally let us down, and then we think, well, why did I place my faith in him, in her, in them? Why? So to doubt your spiritual power of faith makes sense. But our spiritual power of faith can be tested, and it is always available, always waiting for us. So now I'd like you to hear another perspective, and this one from the amazing Deborah Wilson.
Me, speaker.
That's
Speaker,
it.
me. Can you prove there's wind? Can you prove love? Hold on a minute.
There we go.
It's working. Y'all can hear me, right? Take two. Can you prove there's wind? Can you prove love? Can you prove you were thinking about a person when they called? All we have are visible effects of wind, of love, or telepathic thought. What about faith? It's intangible, indescribable. It's an invisible force that stirs within. For some, faith lies dormant, inaudible, unawakened. For some, this energetic current acts as a spiritual spine, holding us erect when life throws grenades. To quote Carolyn Mace, "Whoever told you life was going to be easy lied." After my divorce, my heart shattered into 1,000 shards. One day, while walking alone, a man came from across the street, heading straight towards me, held out a bouquet of flowers. "Here," he said, "these are for you." When I went to speak, he smiled and said, "Shh," then walked away. I was stunned. And when I turned, he was gone, vanished. Or when I looked to the sky one evening and beheld the luminous grandmother of the heavens, my eyes welled as I said out loud, "I love you, moon. I love you, sweet moon." Minutes later, a perfectly shaped heart appeared. In my late 40s, I phoned my girlfriend and called out, "Hey, don't you think we could be cut some divine slack once in a while? Do you think just once we could have a doubting Thomas moment where we have proof of God instead of just having to accept it on faith?" Jeez. "Wow," she said. "Are you having a day?" "No, damn it, I'm having a week." She invited me over and let me air my trials and tribulations. "Want some tea?" she asked. "Yeah, sure," I said. Teresa had a beautiful home with a huge living room and floor-to-ceiling window overlooking the backyard. I was still brewing inside while she was brewing tea. While I was thinking about the past week, an image slowly manifested on the window. "Whoa," I said. "What'd you say?" she called out. "Whoa," I repeated. "Teresa, could you come here?" In a minute, she said, "Nope." I said, like right now? Okay, I'm coming." And then she said, "Whoa. Are you seeing something?" I asked. "I am." "What are you seeing?" "Well, what are you seeing?" she asked. It looks like the face of Christ." "Exactly," she said. I sat very still, staring for a good 10 minutes. Teresa quietly left to give me time alone. The image slowly faded. When she came back in, she asked excitedly, "What, did you ask your question?" "What?" I said. "You were frustrated that the divine or God never appeared, that we were just supposed to believe and that you wished just once they would appear so you could ask a question. So did you ask your question?" Oh my God. I was in such awe. I never thought of it. So is this all coincidence? I don't think so. I believe it was faith made manifest. It's a reminder that beyond this physical realm of matter, substance, and scientific inquiry, there is a presence shaping itself into a bouquet, or the moon, or a mystical image. Faith at times, made visible, reminds us, I am here. I am here. Always have faith, because I am is here.
Thank you, Deborah. That was beautiful. Yes, the spiritual power of faith can be made manifest in this physical realm when it is expressed in, through, and as you. How often do you wake up in the morning and say, "Today is a spectacular day because I have faith that God and I are one and I am grateful." And then you go through your day expecting only the best. If something happens that you don't like, No worries. It'll be used for my good. If something happens that upsets you, don't fret. God is here guiding me to my good. If something occurs that might even be called a disaster, yes, shed some tears. And yet you know that God is in it all, and you remain firm in your faith that what you truly want, need, desire is already present. Peace, love, comfort, support, and yes, even joy. This first week of Advent, this week of faith, be kind to yourself, be kind to others as you open your heart, mind, and soul to this divine power of faith. We are all walking this path of faith together. And I, for one, am very, very grateful. Namaste.